Riley Castelli. It is November 15th, 2012, and I am at my home in Ohioville, Pennsylvania. I'm going to discuss Trend 3. Today's students, digital natives, are accustomed to cell phones, computers, and the internet, which makes them much different than other generations, and they will need different skills for tomorrow's world. Proposition 1. Consider the general characteristics of the millennial generation. What skill strengths and gaps, as well as preconceptions, do these students bring to your class? Devise a set of diverse instructional strategies to teach these students. Now I will begin. Millennial students bring a wide range of characteristics to the classroom. These students are team-oriented and do not like to work independently. Millennial students are also very confident in their schoolwork. They believe that any task they are challenged with, they will complete it above and beyond the standards they were given. They are pressured to perform well because they care what people think and are afraid they will be judged. They look for feedback and thrive on it. The desire to achieve for these students is also very strong because it makes them feel special. Also, millennial students are very conventional and are very open to different cultural experiences and values. Millennial students bring many skill strengths to the classroom. Because they enjoy group work, these students can teach the others their strengths, which will allow an entire class to learn the same technologies they already know how to use. Also, another strength and positive attribution these students can bring to school is they are very motivating to teachers as well. Teachers who are not part of the millennial population are not as technology savvy as their students, which can lead to a very boring class for the millennial population. Boring classes lead to a decrease in student achievement. Monaco and Martin stated in The Millennial Student, A New Generation of Learners, that teachers are challenged, and quote, "It takes more than a textbook and a lecture to awaken their interest and grab their attention," end quote. These students are challenging teachers, and it is important that teachers of this time always stay one step ahead of their students. Preconceptions about millennial students is their independence. I always figured students raised around technology were more independent because they had the internet to rely on for information. However, they are more dependent on their parents than children were 30 years ago. Because of this need to be dependent on someone, millennials rely on feedback. This is why it is important for teachers to provide effective and timely feedback to their students. Millennials' lack of independence also shows because of their need to be social inside and out of the classroom. They feel the need to have contact with their teachers as often as possible. This is why it is recommended that teachers have office hours posted. Quality and regular communication with teachers encourages students to succeed. I'm here with Danielle Somerville, a English virtual classroom teacher at PA Cyber, and I'm going to ask her about millennial students. And my first question is, how has technology changed over the years in schools?
I think technology has changed a lot over the years. I remember being in high school, and the biggest form of technology was an overhead projector, and that was it. That's all we used. And now we're making podcasts. Students are creating wikis. Students are doing projects using Screencast-O-Matic or Windows Live Media Player. So there's so many different things they can do now that we can incorporate in the classroom that we've never been able to do before.
Very good. My next question is in terms of technology usage. Do you do anything special to keep all of your students on the same page?
Yes, I try to. I know that there are some students who are very tech savvy and they can do things like create videos without much direction. And there are other students who can't even create a PowerPoint slide without having specific instructions on what to do. So I try to incorporate different projects. That way they can choose to create a project using PowerPoint. I can provide some directions on that. And then for other students who are more tech savvy, they can create their own videos or they can use Screencast-O-Matic. That way, students who are more advanced, they aren't getting bored. And I know we talked about this before, students getting bored. They're not getting bored, and students who are less advanced, they don't feel as though they're completely overwhelmed with the technology that they can use.
Okay, good. And my third question, do you feel there are any strengths that these students bring to the classroom?
Absolutely. I think these students, especially students in the cyber school, are very motivated. They want to succeed, they want to do well. So they will actually, I know there are some times where they even suggest things, can I do this or can I do that? Because they are more advanced and they want to experiment with the things that they do really well. Also, they tend to work well together in groups. They like to collaborate. So I think those are some strengths that they do have.
Okay, I definitely agree with you on that. And my last question, do you feel that there are any preconceptions that these students face?
I do. I think a lot of these students who enter the cyber classroom think it's going to be easy because they believe only having to attend class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday and Thursday, that it's going to be easy for them. But these students do need to be self motivated learners. And if they're coming into the classroom and they're not motivated and they don't have that drive, they will struggle. In addition, when it comes to millennials, I think that we expect so much of them just because we know that they have been excelling and doing things from an early age. I think sometimes we need to realize that we do need to go over things more step by step and not just assume that they'll understand how to do something.
All right, thank you, Danielle.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Danielle and I discussed the millennial generation several times before our interview. She is very familiar with this generation because she has also done research on millennials. I first asked her how technology has changed in schools over the years, just to get an idea of how she had to make adjustments in her teaching. Teachers now must always go above and beyond the latest technology. PowerPoints and overhead projectors are simply boring to students. Using sources such as YouTube and Windows Movie Maker are great ways to encourage students. I also asked Danielle how she keeps all of her students on the same page. For example, some students do not even know how to use PowerPoint, and others are able to make their own movies. I don't want the technology savvy students to get bored and the other students to get frustrated. She said that she gives them options. The students can use any form of media in order to complete their project or assignment. This is a teaching strategy that I will most definitely implement into my teaching. PA Cyber is a great source for technology students because most public schools block different types of sources that could be beneficial to a student's education, such as YouTube. YouTube offers great video clips that are very engaging for students, and if it's blocked, it's taking away a great source of information. Giving students options and having them teach others is also a great way for millennials to bring a strength to the classroom. Their willingness to work with others will also help the rest of the class learn better forms of technology. As far as characteristics of millennial students, Danielle noted that a preconception for these students entering cyber schools, such as PA Cyber, is that they think it's easy. However, they need to form some sort of independence because the teacher will not be sitting there telling them to do their work. They are on their own. Something I will change in my teaching is to offer more time for students to meet with me. I already offer 3 hours a week of office hours. However, I will now tell students that I will check my email throughout the evenings and also on weekends. Also, I will make office hours available by appointment. Because I do not see students face to face and want to meet their needs as millennials, I will also provide them with more detailed feedback. Because of their need to have good quality constructive feedback, I will use the functions Schoology has to offer and write on their actual assignment and post notes on their papers. I've also started reviewing homework assignments during class so that students can see what the correct answers to their homework was. Thank you for listening to my field-based assessment. Have a wonderful day.